Religion was all around me whilst growing up. Even back home in Zambia, there are weekly bhajans, and Indian parents make sure their children apologize to God if their feet touch anything that isn't the ground. Growing up as a millennial, I inevitably questioned the heavens, and in 2016 I declared to myself that religion is nonsense. The Anish that was brought up in fear of God had died. That same year, I graduated from university and have spent life since then attending to my natural calling, unemployment. One reason I've enjoyed being unemployed is I've had the opportunity to travel around India. On one trip, my flatmate Hari took me to his hometown in the state of Madhya Pradesh, a village called Mangawa. Highlights during the initial days of that trip were attending a village wedding, busting the myth of the Nagin dance, which very much exists, but most importantly, it was meeting Hari's elder brother, Tinku Bhaiya. Being under the care and hospitality of Tinku Bhaiya, I experienced the Sanskrit phrase Atiti Devo Bhava, which means a guest is akin to God. Indians generally do tend to be very nice to their guests. However, Tinku Bhaiya redefined the word hospitality. He went above and beyond to ensure I was always comfortable and having a good time. He would make sure I had been served food before he was. He didn't let me spend a single penny for a month, even if it were for my own toiletries. He was the type to sacrifice his own chair to let me have a seat. Now, I've met considerate people before, but the kind of energy he gave me was different. It felt like worship. He treated his guest, me, like a god. Tinku Bhaiya took time off work that month to take Hari and I on some road trips to see places of significance in neighboring towns. These were usually temples and holy sites, and I got to learn of the many different ways people devoted themselves in the name of religion. It was during these road trips that I had come to witness a strange contrast in Tinku Bhaiya's behavior. He legit had serious anger issues, especially whilst he was driving. Any type of incompetence was enough to derive utmost irritation within him. Now, road rage is almost understandable when you drive in India, but his was a few notches above normal for sure. How could there be such a disparity in his behavior? Like, one moment he's being very kind to me, and the next he was flawlessly uttering all the band and mother plus a few creative additions here and there. This contrasting behavior led me to have one of my first profound spiritual realizations. It happened during our trip to one of the holiest cities in the world, Benares, aka Varanasi. Let me explain. One evening, after a long day of touring, we got stuck in a really bad traffic jam. Now, traffic in Benares is as tough to go through as combing dreadlocks with a plastic fork. Basically, a breeding ground for Tinku Bhaiya's anger. I was in the passenger seat navigating using the help of Google Maps. As we passed through one traffic signal, Google Maps quickly redirected to say we should have taken a turn instead of going straight. I hesitantly told Bhaiya about the error, not actually knowing how he would react to this setback. But interestingly enough, his mind or temperament showed absolutely no signs of irritation whatsoever. I didn't even have to justify that it was the app's fault. After an hour, the same thing happened again at a different traffic signal. Once again, Bhaiya immediately accepted the situation. Not an ounce of annoyance towards me. In fact, it seemed like he got a burst of energy to rectify the problem that appeared to be my fault. The reason I didn't explain myself was because he made it seem like it wasn't even vaguely necessary. For all the impatience and anger for the outer world, there was a part of him giving a far more superior love and patience towards me. As I sat there in the car, it suddenly struck. Amidst all that I had experienced, with the many types of devotion I had seen people give to their religions, it all made sense. Tinku Bhaiya had given this godlike devotion to me, and sure, it felt fantastic, but the peace of mind it brought to an angry being like him was phenomenal. So I thought, if Tinku Bhaiya gave the same kind of energy that he gave to me, to every being that cut him off on the road or did him wrong in life, he would never feel anger ever again. If we learn that the incredible amounts of energy we channel to our gods and religions can be channeled boundlessly towards all his manifestations and manifestations, we can always be at peace with everyone and at peace within ourselves too. When they said love is the answer, they were right. I mean, the scriptures have been telling us this for thousands of years. Suddenly, a new Anish was born that didn't want to simply discard religion, but wanted to seek out the true wisdom of it through experience. Religion was never the problem. Don't you think society's implementation of it is? Since that realization dawned in Benares, I've been able to give love and only love to everyone around me, And sure enough, peace and tranquility are my constant default state of mind. Compassion, forgiveness, and humanity flow through me as gracefully as the Ganga flows from the Himalayas herself. And so to conclude, I have realized that Atithi Devo Bhava was never just about the guest, but also about the pleasantness that was created within the host. Khudafis, cheers, kudos.